Hi friends, Saurabh once again. Uh, Recently, I've realized that it's becoming more and more difficult for me to sit down and type my blogs. So what I've done is I've started reading out some of my thoughts out there in form of audio blogs. So here it is, the second audio blog. I'll try to keep it short. This particular topic is when the other day it was 26th of November, and like most other working days, I was too lazy to go to work during the daytime, so I switched on to the Lok Sabha TV, the Lok Sabha TV channel. And yes, no, yes, I think that is how bored I was. There was live cricket match going on, the Freedom Series. Uh, in respect for the two great leaders from India and South Africa, Mahatma Gandhi and Nelson Mandela. But in all totality, the inevitability of the match results in India's favor made me switch channels and focus on the special day that it was, the birth anniversary of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, and it was supposed to be celebrated as the Constitution Day for India. I immediately got hooked onto the life of this great man who was the chief architect of our national constitution. Now, there are few aspects of Ambedkar which I would like to highlight in today's blog. First one being him chosen as the popular choice as the Indian of the Year award, and that is something which I feel was more because of the wave which was on in 2014, more against the Congress political party, and less because of the role of Nehru. Nehru was a great statesman, and when it comes to academic evaluation of the impact Nehru had on India vis-a-vis and Ambedkar had in India, I think Nehru would be a hands down winner, and obviously those are my personal thoughts. But when it came to the popular choice in terms of the number of votes which somebody got, and this contest was Indian of Indian of I think it was the greatest Indian after Gandhi, and that was the topic of the contest. And B.R. Ambedkar was the hands down winner there. I think it was more because, as I said earlier, is because of the wave which was going on against the Congress party, and anybody who was part of that Congress Nehru family, Indira Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi, anybody, even Rahul Gandhi, Rajiv Gandhi for that matter, anybody who would have been there would have definitely got less votes, and that is what happened. The second aspect, as I got into reading more and more about Ambedkar, was his open criticism to Gandhi. And I remember one of the archives which I was listening to from BBC. Ambedkar was somebody who was very open in terms of his criticism about Gandhi, and he even went out to say that he never called Gandhi a Mahatma, because at the end of the day he found Gandhi to be an average shrewd politician, more than anything else. A couple of things where he criticized Gandhi was how Gandhi was writing about equality, when it comes to gender equality, when it comes to caste equality. Uh, Gandhi was writing about these things in English so that the rest of the world would come to read about it and would feel that Gandhi is doing the noble thing. But when it comes to talking to people in India, in terms of local languages, he still talked about how the caste system is there to stay, and he was clearly in favor of doing favors to Muslims uh, and all the orthodox uh, points which existed in the society then, and in a lot of ways they are still in India. Now, the third important aspect was his views on the caste system prevalent in India. So, Ambedkar was from lower caste, and he made sure that he went through all the hardships, but he made sure that he continued his studies and went on to get a doctorate, became Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Through all the hardships which he went through, I think he was more than anything else, he was looked upon as somebody who will lead and who will change the fate of all the millions of so-called Harijans then, and so-called untouchable uh, society, part of the society. And he did a fantastic job in that sense. So he came up with the law where people from those castes who were looked down from the upper caste got the quota and got the percentages where they were given all the opportunities to grow and not feel the brunt of coming from lower caste. I would recommend here, if you can go ahead and watch this movie. So this movie is freely available on YouTube. It's called Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Fourth and last topic which I would like to quickly touch upon is his views on secular India. So I was surprised to know that this term secularism was not part of the original preamble when Constitution was accepted back in 1949 and was officially declared as the Indian Constitution in 1950. Secularism as a term was added later in 1975, where when Indira Gandhi was the Prime Minister of India, and that is when the Lok Sabha decided that we will add the word secularism and socialism to the preamble of India. Now, since then, the definition of secularism has been something which has been under a lot of scrutiny, because when you literally translate the word into Hindi, you get multiple meanings of it, and there is one meaning which it says it's a dharma nirpeksh versus a panth nirpeksh. I'd like to keep this particular blog short. Maybe I'll get back to you in terms of my further definition and further views on the word secularism. And obviously, a lot is happening in the country in terms of tolerance debate. If you guys say something and then it becomes a big deal. Having said that, yesterday was a great day for Meenakshi, and congratulations to her on her marriage. A great day to Gokul. I mean, Gokul has decided to move on and bid goodbye to his singlehood. So I think he's gonna get married on 9th of December, and I think it's a good time for LOC to celebrate. It's a good time for all of us to. Some of us were there to in attending some of these marriages, and I think personally I'm at a loss when I missed on attending Meenakshi's wedding, and looks like it's gonna be the same fate for Gokul's wedding as well. But my best wishes to them. Best wishes to all of you guys. Have a great day.